The last hadith in the chapter, the hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha, وفي الصحيح he says عن عائشة رضي الله عنها أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال من عمل عملا ليس عليه أمرنا فهو رد رواه الإمام أحمد. Whoever does an action, whoever عمل did an action, a deed, ليس عليه أمرنا. أمرنا, our matter, is not upon it. فهو رد, it's rejected. It's rejected, that means it's not going to be accepted. Like explaining the ayah by the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. This hadith is a foundation of the deen, as the ulama, they mentioned, because it refers to all of these newly invented actions that is not upon the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, that it will be rejected. Because nobody has the right to introduce anything to this ummah after the Messenger ﷺ, matters of belief, matters of ibadah, because these things are to be known, to be recognized by the wahy, by the revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. So, and as mentioned before, al-bid'ah or innovations in the deen is far worse than the major sins, right? In general. Why? Because why would a person do such a thing? It opposes the way of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As the ulama, they call it istidrak ala nabi. Istidrak, that means someone is as if a person is correcting the Prophet ﷺ, not necessarily doing that intentionally like that or saying it, but as if a person is saying the deen is not complete, the way the Prophet ﷺ is not sufficient for the people, and nowadays the things that is introduced to the people or the life of the people requires for them something else other than the way the Prophet ﷺ, or something extra to get them more obedient to Allah or to get their heart soft and so on. And all of that is a very dangerous attitude and something very, and some people, they say that clearly, directly. And this is such an evil statement that a person has to be careful. The Prophet ﷺ, his way is the most perfect way, and to follow the way the Prophet ﷺ, and to be patient upon the way the Prophet ﷺ, this is what brings all matters of goodness in this life and in the hereafter. So as important as calling people to the deen of Allah, as important as calling people to the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, is to warn the people from what negates the deen of Islam, shirk and al-bid'ah, the things that is opposing to the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. And these bid'ah splitted the ummah, created groups, and people will adopt something that wasn't the way the Prophet ﷺ and hold fast to it and continue to be upon it. And people do not forbid such evil, and they think this is okay, different interpretations, things like this. This deen has been interpreted by the Prophet ﷺ in the most perfect way, and the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. We're not talking about things that is not revelation. We're talking about aqidah, matters of belief. We're talking about ibadah that is to be known by the revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's the end of the chapter. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among to be upon the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the deen of Islam, the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed, and the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us. So it's important to have these principles clear, right? So these principles has to be clear. The details, this is what we then gain knowledge one step after the other. We'll go to the next class, inshallah, in a few minutes. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على محمد وصحبه وسلم. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.